one is Skydive and Skywalk. So they were sort of announced as a legacy bot, and I think maybe I ruined that. I was
Mm.
like, why are you doing Skydive? Like, I don't
This
think
was ages.
Skydive needs. Yeah, I don't think Skydive needs much,
Uh,
but
well, Legacy's changed a lot, to be honest. I can't remember. We've never really done. I've never really. I've obviously spoke to Freezius about Legacy, but I've not really spoke to you about Freezius. I mean, when I decided to do Legacy, I think it was November last year. It was always the idea of, okay, let's just do 5 bots and let's just improve all 5 in just whatever way possible. And then it kind of evolved to, okay, that was a lot of work. Let's just do 2. And then we started doing, I like to call it the main and then the side piece. um, and then it just started to be like a two-way thing. So I don't know where Skywarp and Skydive actually sit in the Legacy batch now, if ever, because I think when they get their 5-star, they're going to be actually quite good anyway. I don't
yeah.
think they really need any changes.
I think the
Um,
G1
but
needs
I
some
think
work. The G1's known for being pretty
yeah, but
awful,
then
but
that's
that's
what we can do with the
yeah,
Legacy. I mean, the Legacy, we want to see what we can do with anything, right? I mean, like combats, is there something we can do with combats would be
yeah.
pretty cool? Is there something we can do with combiners would be pretty cool? Like nothing's off the table. It's not just bots. We've just not really had people go, you know what, you should probably push for this combiner or push for this combat or something. So that might be interesting to do in the future. And then it's like the way Legacy works at the moment is, you put the bot into the event, but that allows us to put a lot of time into the bot because we're obviously putting it in an event. Could we do the same with a combat? No, because everybody has the 5-star anyway, so I'm not sure how it would work for them.
Mm.
So yeah, there's lots to think about.
Hmm. And then same question for Sunstreaker and Swindle.
For Legacy,
Yeah,
it would be side piece because it already has a 5-star. I think any bot that has a 5-star at the minute doesn't really get like a whole rework. I mean, Drift had a whole.
I was about to say did for
It
Drift, yeah, but
depends how bad they are, really.
hmm.
If the 5-star just sucks, sorry to use that wording, but if they're just like they need a big change, then we'll do it. Like Ultra Magnus needs a big change,
Yeah, you said
and
that a
I
few
like.
times, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one I've got in the background at the minute working with him, but he's actually very annoying. He's probably going to be the hardest one we
I
do.
thought that, yeah,
Not just because of the lore. The lore bit it actually makes it like pretty cool and what we can do with him. It's just the more that the both bots have different
yeah,
animations.
yeah.
So
I always said that,
uh,
and you
it's
give him a
just
laser, it doesn't really make sense, and you give Galvatron
yeah,
rockets, that doesn't make sense. So
yeah.
you've
So
literally got two different parts. So I thought that. I thought it's gonna be a really difficult one.
yeah, it's so that the easiest thing would be to controversially, to make them fully parodies, just get rid of him doing anything in transform mode. So what this means is he could be potentially somebody who runs into a battlefield because then he wouldn't need to transform and then use an animation. So we could
Mm.
do something with a fist or something, but then we're talking like a whole redesign.
Mm.
I
Could you
really
not
want to.
just could you just fire one rocket rather than a multitude?
You could, but then it would look silly because I've already done that, and it does look silly because of the different model animations. Like getting the
okay,
rocket's fine, but like because of the positioning of the rocket is different on Ultra Magnus and Galvatron, it just looks really weird, and it's like, well, this shouldn't go, and I can't just do a half attempt on it. It needs to be, when we do it, it needs to be good, and that's why I kind of thought I had this crazy idea of him just being like a warrior, like a not we're not
yeah,
talking like a we're not talking we're not when I say warrior, we're not talking like I'm talking drift style warrior, someone who goes in and does a bit of damage
yeah.
and then just dies. I know that doesn't sound good, but in lore he basically sacrifices himself. So why couldn't we replicate that in game where he goes in and then when he dies, he really does a big explosion. We're talking something very big, and you can tell he's died. These are just
I'm
some
not a fan
ideas
of
that we're thinking.
sacrificial bots, so I'm not a fan of it at all. Honestly, I
I
don't like
know
these.
it's just
But because I never plan to lose them, I don't plan them to die. I don't want them to die.
yeah, but
I want to finish it with
it
8 bots,
depends.
so I don't like
Yeah,
that.
but it
No, if they die,
depends.
it's a
Yeah,
waste
it
for me.
depends. It
I don't know.
depends on how good the explosion is. If you're saying to me, go in there, but when you die, you were really gonna change this battle for me. But we've just never seen it in the game, and that's what kind
Mm.
of I think all the after death effects kind of just maybe we've just not hit the mark with it. But an after death effect could be good. Like if you die, you're taking something out with you. Does that sound good?
I think on a
I think it
combiner
sounds
it'd
good.
work because on a combiner it dies. It always does die. It's going to die. That's that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So that makes sense for me on a combiner,
yeah,
but
but
not
a
on a
bot can
bot. I don't
die.
know.
A bot can die.
Why?
But but again, we get to the point that when he's dead, what is he do? Like what is the after death effect? Because if the after death effect is good, then you want him to die. But it's all about how good the after death effect is.
I can just imagine them all having a meeting going, listen, Ultra Magnus, you're going to run in there with a grenade, yeah, kill yourself, and just destroy the whole thing. Like, I ain't doing
We'll put it
that.
this way.
I ain't
Put it
doing
this
that. You
way.
go
All
and
right,
do
all right, all
that.
right. I've played around with Ultra Magnus. I've had him run in. I've had him explode, and he'd take out the whole base, and I loved
Whole
it.
piece.
I'm not
Just
kidding.
a nuke.
I'm not kidding. It just yeah. I'm talking nuke. I'm talking nuclear. Big rate. It was hilarious. I don't know if I'll ever
I
be
love
able
how
to
you
get that.
sort of do these sort of things and you go to the extreme with it just to have it's funny. Honestly,
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
a few times in
It was great.
playtest and like,
I
look what I've been doing. This is not coming out, but look what I've sort of been doing.
I think the biggest one that I've done, which I was very disappointed to not get through, was oh no, who was it in the 5-star batch?
I can't remember, but I'm
Oh
talking about though.
no,
Was it Drift even? I think it was Drift actually, wasn't it?
no, it wasn't Drift. Who was it? Oh my god, it was in the batch. Grapple.
Oh yeah,
When yeah, I really
the
like the
mine.
idea with him, the mine, where you could detonate it. You had two buttons, and you could detonate it whenever you wanted. You placed a bomb, and then you had another. You had two abilities. So one of them would place a bomb, and then the bomb would be down for 20 seconds, and then you'd use the second button to detonate the bomb, but it wouldn't cost any ability points. And I just thought, wow,
They were pretty
this is
cool.
this is
Yeah.
really really cool. Why couldn't this have been a legacy bot? We could have really done something
So
cool
why
with this.
didn't that happen for Grapple then?
So like, this is the thing. This is the kind of the thing with why people are probably a little bit upset with 5-star batches at the minute, because people are like, yeah, but I'd rather see that, I'd rather you do a vote and then you bring this bot as a 5-star from a vote or something. But the truth is, you don't want that. You really don't. You don't want that. And I say that because in a 5-star batch, you don't get time. And I've done a 5-star batch, and I probably might not do another 5-star batch because I like to give it a lot of time, whereas they have a time requirement of saying, you just got to put them as a 5-star and get them out. Because, the team think they're nearly there anyway. But for me, I like to do too many tweaks, so many tweaks, and they just want them out in the game. So yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I just feel like if you want a 4-star right now, and you want it to be really good, it needs to go through Legacy. But if you like want a 4-star as a 5-star and you don't expect many changes, sure, let it go through the 5-star batch.
Hmm.
I think that's probably the better way I would advise people. If you're expecting the 4-star to get like maybe a 10-20% uplift, put it in the 5-star batch. If you
Yeah.
think that the bot needs a whole rework, you're not going to get a whole rework in a 5-star batch. You've not got the time to do a whole rework.